Hola. Good morning. I have to like use, oh, you know what? Can I share? Oh, I don't even know. How do I do this? I should know by now. Anyway, if you're gonna come, you're gonna be here. If you're gonna listen, you're gonna listen to the live later. If you're gonna join, it'd be awesome to have you. I just can't tell if I'm still have Wi-Fi where I'm sitting. Hello, Ronaldo. Nice to see you. Oh good, it is working. Okay, and let me just share this in my news feed and then we'll get going. This has been shared to my timeline. How awesome and easy and effortless is this? How awesome and easy and effortless is it for me to be able to hop online and share and talk and inspire. All right, I'm a little distracted because somebody's moving in across the street and they're getting a furniture delivery. And I'm in Connecticut, and the last few days has been so hot and humid, and like you walk outside and like your skin you just start melting. And so today I was able to come outside and sit on the porch, and I'm sipping my coffee, and it just feels like one of those perfect summer days. There's a nice breeze going, so I had to be outside because I do not like being trapped inside. And even last night I went for can you guys, what's up? Oh, hi B. I went for a run, and I'm not really a runner, but so much energy has been running through me for the last couple of days. Hi Paul. Hey Sherry. Hey Sherry, nice to see you. How have you been? Oh, Charlene, nice to see you. How about this energy, yo? It's been amazingly intense and good at the same time. Oh, apparently this bee wants to do a live stream with me too. Come on. Oh, he wants my coffee? Seriously? Can you guys see this? Okay. So this energy those last few days has been pretty intense. All right, this bee's got to go. Let me just put my coffee down. Let him have a sip. But here's the thing, is that, all right, here's what I want to say about the energy in the last few days, is that what I was feeling personally was almost reminiscent of what was happening in 2010. This is 2010? Yeah. So 2010, I was going through some really rough spots of ascension and growth and healing, and this period of this last few weeks, or however long since it's been since the last eclipse, it's just reminding me of the intensity that I was feeling back in 2010. Can any of you guys relate to that? Has anybody been feeling this energy the last few days? And the way that I've been seeing it is that it's really, how do I say this? It's almost, so the image that I get is it's almost like some of us have been a loose object inside one of those snow globes. You know those snow globes you like shake up, and it has like little characters or little snowmen or a little, you know, something inside, or a little tree. I feel like I've almost been like one of those loose objects around being like shaken up a little bit. But it's intentional in the sense that when everything comes to settle, you're in more alignment with your soul truth, with your authentic path. You know, we're being stripped of the masks, the protections, the personalities that aren't serving us. Like, you know, the energy is really pushing us forward to live what's true for us. And, you know, I'm going through my own next level of all of this. And it's been challenging on my personality part of me, but also like physically, when this eruption is occurring, it becomes uncomfortable in the physical body, because we're storing these beliefs about ourselves, fears, our traumas inside of our body. And when this energy is coming, it's wanting to not only release it from our field, from our minds, but from our being. And what happens is, as we release, right, these false fears, these buried beliefs that we have about ourselves, the you know, incongruency that we're carrying around, any of the personalities that we show up to try to fit in or be the good girl or do it right, is being stripped away and pulled out, not only from our energetic field, but from our physical beings. So this is where I see, and, you know, keep this in mind, because this is where it's like we find that balance, like, so, did the bee go in my coffee? No. There's like finding the balance of being present with the discomfort, not so much getting lost in it, right? So allowing it to move through, but coming through from an empowered space, not from the victim, the poor me, oh, this is happening. More from the like, yeah, let's clear this shiznit out and keep going and recreate and rebuild. And, you know, it's almost like when the slate is clear, you know, what do you want to put, what do you want to rebuild? What do you want to put on? What are you going to, you know, carry forward with you? Are you going to continue to carry forward with you the lack mentality, the victim mentality, the stories of why you can't, or why you're limited, or like who did what to you? Because that's all in the past. And if you think about it, if you can think about life as like a frame by frame thing, you know, what do you want to bring into the next frame? And what I'm saying to you today is that it's uncomfortable, because we know how to deal with the pain, we know how to deal with the trauma, we know how to be with the discomfort. We don't know so much. I mean, I've definitely built my life in a way that I know way more than from the past that I came from. But the beauty, the miracles, the way that life can be easy, And when our personality, because we don't know that unknown space, we don't know if we take the leap, will the net be there? We don't know if, you know, we really hold our boundaries, or if we, you know, really, you know, speak our truth, you know, what's going to happen. And I'm coming through this message today is to let you know, like, speak your truth, show up, do the damn thing. You know, continue to move forward, as scary and as comfortable it is, and leave the old stuff behind. You're gonna still feel scared. It's gonna be unknown. And that's the thing, is like, our personalities want to know, well, if I speak up, or if I do this venture, or if I, you know, have boundaries, or if I, you know, allow my life to be easy, am I gonna be okay? Are the people still gonna be in my life? You know, are other people not going to be hurt by it? And you're not in control of anything that goes on outside of your life. The only thing that you're in control of is your response. And through my journey, there's been lots of evolution and change with the people in my life, the way that, you know, my lifestyle, you know. So just like this high level view, I don't know how much I'm going to talk about it, but, you know, I in my last video, I spoke about how I had all the things and I had nothing, right? So I had the home, I had the relationship, I had the career, I had, you know, the money. And at the same time, I was like, I felt empty, I felt disconnected. I had a hole inside that just couldn't be filled by purchasing things or, you know, eating things. And it was when, you know, after being in a 11-year relationship, engaged and owning a home together, that I just had to end it. And at that time, I mean, this was like 15 years ago, and everyone around me was like married and babies and all of this. I already felt like I was behind the 8 ball. And then I was like blowing it up. I was saying, F this. I mean, I know there's more possible. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but there goes the Bob's truck. But I know there's more. And I let it all go. And then that for me, right? So I'm not saying that you guys all have to like blow up your life. What I'm saying is like, listen within. And if there's like little whispers that are coming in, listen to those voices, listen to the guidance that's coming through, you know, get the support you need to make these scary changes, or, you know, to have someone reflect back to you, you know, where you may be blinded by yourself, you know, blinded from your own self. And so in that, so it's like I was at this point where I feel like I really fucked up my life. Like here I am, well, I don't want to give away my age. Not that it really matters, but you know, I was like, I'm going to start over right now. And what happened was, it was a clean slate. I was like raw. I was raw. There was nothing that I could latch onto or hide from or pretend. I was raw, a blank slate. And at the time I was in corporate, and it's the beginning of like how I got onto this spiritual path. And I told this story before, but I was in corporate and we had a consultant come in. We needed a consultant, and he came in, and he was from Maryland. I'm in Connecticut. And he was like my first spiritual guru. And it's like he was there for 5 weeks, or maybe more. I don't even remember, but it was almost like the universe picked him up from Maryland and said, okay, Kellyanne needs you, and like plopped me in. And he just started to like get me onto this path. And what I started to happen is all these signs started to come, and all of this guidance started to come, you know, because I wasn't hiding behind anything. I wasn't in my ego space. I wasn't, you know, I was crushed because, you know, I was blowing up my life that I thought I was like creating, and I was, you know, messing it up. But at the same time, I was open enough to start seeing the signs, and I started saying yes. So that's the thing that I want to say to you guys, is that, connection available. Let me move a little bit. Is that, you know, start to pay attention to the signs coming to you. Start to listen, and, you know, what can you be saying yes to? What is life bringing you? And this is what I'm talking about, soul-aligned living, is that when we start to clear the fog, when we start to allow the masks to lower and really connect deeply within, that you can start to see how life is this beautiful orchestration. And when you don't have the mask, and when you know, get the personality out of the way and really drop into soul and start saying yes, life becomes this beautiful unfoldment. And sometimes, yeah, it is a little bit challenging, and sometimes it does mean doing the hard things, but sometimes the hard things are the best things. And so with this energy these last few days, I know I'm hopping all over the place, and I want to stop in and say hi, who's there. The energy these last few days has been about really guiding us inside to, like, looking at, you know, what are the beliefs that you're holding about yourself? What are the things that you are holding on to that are not serving you, that are not your truth, that are not aligned with what's really real and authentic for you? Because I know that the majority of my life I was, you know, essentially living outside of my body. You know, I wasn't connected to my soul. I wasn't integrated. And that came from, you know, just a way of survival. And it, you know, and it's like, as everything started to, you know, get shaken up, the only real choice I had was to connect within. And so again, I'm going to say it is that like, you don't have to let your life blow up. You don't have to like shake things up. It doesn't have to be catastrophic. It's about listening within and following that voice, doing the thing that's hard and watching for the signs and saying yes as they show up, saying yes to yourself. Because, you know, trying to live a life of, you know, saying yes to people outside of you, or trying to create, you know, your life's journey based on things outside of you. Like for me, it was, I had a house, oh, here's a good point. I had a house, I had the relationship, I had the career. And what happened, because I was so attached to those things outside of me, that when they started to fall and crumble, I was losing myself. I was losing myself because those things were leaving. And so that's what I'm talking about. Rebuilding it was like, that's all I had left was me. And so the tough part is that now for me, I had to go within and be with all of those parts of myself that I had essentially not been in touch with because of the journey that led me up to that space. And so, you know, when people are having a hard time aligning with soul, it's, you know, a piece of that is, you know, the stuff that's being held within, right? The beliefs of not good enough, the beliefs of not worthy, the beliefs of, you know, any fears, any lacks, any of the programs that you've picked up from other people. So I think that's all I want to say about that. I want to say hi to everybody. Hi, Steph. Hi, Eddie. What's up? Hi, Abbas. Zeph says, when things explode, you only have one path: to rebuild. That's what you did, and that's what's awesome. Yeah, I did rebuild. And, you know, it's like, as so much of my life I was in corporate, but there was always something in the back of my mind that said, so I was, you know, I come from the generations that say, get into a corporate job. You know, so everybody had corporate jobs and, you know, get into it, get a pension. And so that was my path. And so, I mean, I was always really good at what I did, and I was always promoted quickly, and I was always a leader or, you know, a manager. And, but there was always something in the back of my mind that said, there's more for me. There's more for me that I'm meant to be doing. And, you know, part of how that, you know, allowing that part of my life to blow up was me getting onto this path of spirituality and energy medicine and in healing from natural ways and holistic health counseling. And, you know, it's like I was my first client, and what was I saying there? Oh, and then so like in the back of my mind, I always craved freedom. I always, you know, knew that I wanted to be doing something that really had an impact on the people that I cross lives with, instead of like, you know, creating an amazing report or having a, you know, New England wide project being successful. I mean, that was all great, but I really wanted to be touching souls and to be having an impact on everybody who was ready for the evolution for themselves, the way that I was able to break. I mean, because my life right now, I mean, I don't share a lot of my personal story, and maybe I will as I continue to go along, but I mean, it's very different now. And, you know, a lot of what I talk about with the, you know, unfuck your mind comes from my own journey of undoing, you know, manipulation and undoing programming and, you know, rebuilding from nothing to a place of radical self-love. The bee is back, so I'm going to just ignore it and say who else is here. Hi, Joan. Hey, Matt. Joan, Michelle. Hey, Brian. Are you still here? I don't know. Zeph's rebuilding. Zeph's blowing stuff up. I know it. All right, so let me just see if I missed any comments. Whoops. So I guess I'll sum this up. Let me see if there's anything else I want to share with that. Do you guys have any questions? Who else is like rebuilding? Okay, Brian's rebuilding. Brian is doing some great heart work. We're all doing a lot of great heart work because, I mean, truly, truly, that's where I'm being led, right? So much of we've been like, I'll speak for myself, and I'll speak for even the people that I work with, is that so much of our training has been to like come to life from a space of mind versus a space of heart. And so when I talk about soul and connection, I mean, it's really words. It's almost like when I'm talking about soul integration and soul mind living, you know, it's about tapping into the deep truth that is for you. Not society's expectations, not your family's expectations, not what maybe even your partner expects. And that's some of the most challenging things, is that when we start to, you know, let go of the hooks with everybody around us and truly come within. And then that's where some of the healing begins, because then when we start to integrate and tap truly into what we want for ourselves, you know, some of the pain is there. And in my work, we move through the pain in a very quick and effective way. And at the same time, so much of it is about rebuilding. So much of it is about taking that energy that's now freed up from where that pain was and rebuilding to become in alignment with what that inner voice, our heart's desires want. And I'll tell you that my life does not look like what anyone would expect, in the sense of, you know, from 15 years ago, right? For what I would have expected 15 years ago. But I have some of the most amazing soul connections, magical people in my lives. Some of them are here on this live stream. And I have freedom. I have freedom to be, you know, waking up at 9 o'clock on a Friday morning and sipping coffee on my porch and talking to beautiful people, and, you know, connecting with clients throughout the day, and I could do my work wherever I am, because, you know, freedom is a big thing for me. Ooh. It's kind of exciting. Like, I love newness. You know, they're moving in, and it's exciting and new. Okay, Brian says, oh, hold on. Zeph says it takes drive and commitment, and most importantly, awakening. Yes. Awakening to your true self, awakening to your soul, awakening to that voice within. And that's the thing that keeps people from listening to that voice within, is, you know, all of the beliefs that they have around, you know, oh, you'll be disappointed, you'll be abandoned, you'll be, you know, other people will be hurt by you having your easy, amazing, wonderful life. And none of that is true. Because not only when you're living from a soul-aligned place, you become an example for other people. And if people aren't meant to be in your life anymore, more people who are aligned with your soul truth, vibrationally, will come in. So Brian says, clearing the clutter, been super peaceful since last chatting. Awesome. Happy to hear, Brian. Thank you. You're welcome, Zeph. Love always. So, well, just to sum it all up, listen. The energies that are moving through are guiding you to your soul truth. It is, the life experiences are reflecting back to you the parts that need to go. They are reflecting back to you the ways that you need to show up more fully for yourself. And start to pay attention to the signs. Start to pay attention to the signals that are coming in, and start saying yes to the things that feel like alignment, even though it's scary, even though you don't know what the next step is, even if you don't know if the net will appear when you jump. And surround yourself with people that can help you remember your truth, that can help you feel courageous when you have to take that leap or make that move. And so just know, when you're following soul, you can't go wrong. It may get messy for a minute, but you'll never be steered wrong. And it only becomes super, super, super messy and challenging when you're resisting what your soul truth is. So I'm starting a new group. We're starting, the doors are opening tomorrow, and it's called Soul Aligned Living. Right now, I currently have So that's a month-long group, 4 weeks we're going to be together. We're going to be really tuning in to what's true for ourselves, undoing some of the programming and releasing some of the the masks and the clearing the fog and letting the veils fall away to get more aligned with the true essence of who you are, and practices and processes to invite the essence of you to come forth more fully. And what happens is when you're living from that space, as I said earlier, life lines up so beautifully and unfolds so beautifully. And so we'll be together. So I have 4 spots. So anybody that joins in the next, I forgot what day it is. I think I said by next Wednesday, and I didn't realize that it was a holiday this weekend. So I have 4 spots for one-on-one bonus calls. That 30 minutes, you and I, we chat on the phone, and you can use that call anytime before the month ends. I actually have a member that we already had her call, and it was, it was really phenomenal. It was, essentially the ass kicking that she needed. She had been doing some healing work, but very surface level. And again, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy, but you have to be willing. You have to be willing to show up for yourself. You have to be willing to want more for yourself and move forward with that. And so 4 spots left. I know one person's interested, so that'll make it 3, but right now the 4 spots are open. I'll leave a link in here. You can find out more about it. I think that's all I have to say. I'm loving this group. It's, it is like an adjunct of You Are the Medicine group, but I'm changing the format and the way that I'm doing these monthly groups. And yeah, I mean, some of the things that are happening inside this group that I've been doing for the last 2 months has been so beautiful to witness people understand, like, they are the medicine, like, you are the medicine, you are the, what it is that you seek is within. And we're just going to go a little bit deeper, a little bit broader, a little bit wider, a little bit higher in this next course. And the way that I run it is it's very intuitively led. I channel the information for the collective inside, and so what happens is I'll get downloads for prompts that the group would be supported by in going and doing some internal reflection. And then as the information comes through, I'm reading the energy and supporting and guiding the members to come even more into what's true for them. So things that are happening is they're making more money, and they're accomplishing life goals that they set for themselves. They're working with more new clients, or putting themselves out in the world more. Their relationships are shifting. They're starting to see the magic that life is, and how can you see the goosebumps? I have goosebumps just talking about this course and this group. And yeah, so that's all I have to say about it. If you have any questions, you can message me here, but I'll leave a link. And what I am going to do is, I was keeping the group open. I'm going to close the doors on the group, because what I feel is happening, especially for this soul-aligned living space, is that it's going to be, there's this, like, the sacred container that's being called forth for this amazing alchemy to happen inside. So I'm going to see. I've got to tune in to when I'm going to, because of the holiday, I don't know when I'll close it, but it'll be open tomorrow. There'll be, next steps and homework already, or assignments, whatever you want to call it, for you to get started and to really start to dive deep into what soul-aligned living means for you. But if you want one of those one-on-one calls with me, jump in soon, because like I said, there's only 4 left, and doors will close. I think that's all I have to say. But if you watch this on the replay, and you have any questions, just leave them here. But remember, life is always presenting things to you. Listen, the signs are there. Say yes. Yes to yourself. Yes to yourself. Because everything else on the outside will fall into place. Promise.